Stoicism is not just a man's philosophy. It is a way of living with clarity, purpose, and calm strength. For women, its teachings offer a quiet power that the world often overlooks. In a time where noise is mistaken for influence, the Stoic woman chooses stillness, chooses discipline, chooses self-respect. These are not just ideas, they are weapons of grace. Let us begin. Lesson 1. Led by example rather than force. A Stoic woman does not control others with noise. She shows the path through how she walks it. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good woman should be. Be one. Let your character speak louder than your words. Show strength with poise, set boundaries without bitterness, and carry yourself with the kind of dignity that turns heads without trying." Your light is not meant to beg for attention. It is meant to guide. Lesson 1. Led by example rather than force. A Stoic woman does not seek to change the world through argument or control. She changes it through her presence, her actions, and her unwavering integrity. She understands that the most powerful form of leadership is silent and consistent. Instead of correcting others with criticism, she lives in a way that inspires them to rise higher. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good woman should be. Be one." And she lives by that. Her power is not in dominance but in her ability to remain calm under pressure, compassionate in conflict, and composed in the face of chaos. She doesn't need to demand respect. She earns it. Her kindness has boundaries, her strength is wrapped in humility, and her self-respect is never traded for acceptance. She knows that every decision she makes reflects her character, so she chooses wisely. In a noisy world, she stays grounded. In a judgmental world, she leads with quiet confidence. Her life becomes her message. She embodies the virtues she values, and in doing so, becomes a mirror that challenges others to do better. She does not chase praise or fear rejection. She simply shows up as her best self, again and again. This is her discipline. This is her legacy. Lesson 2. Fulfill your roles with presence, not pressure. A Stoic woman understands that greatness is not measured by how loudly you chase success, but by how deeply you honor the roles you already hold. Whether she is a daughter, a partner, a mother, a friend, or a professional, she brings her full self into each space without the need for perfection. She doesn't obsess over society's timelines or compete for titles. Instead, she focuses on how she can be the most present, the most honest, and the most compassionate version of herself in whatever moment she's in. She finds strength in the mundane, purpose in the routine, and virtue in the ordinary. She's not chasing applause. She's building something timeless. She reflects often on her responsibilities, not as burdens, but as chances to show character. She is not afraid to grow her intellect, pursue ambitions, or strive for more, but all her outward pursuits are rooted in an inner foundation of integrity. She doesn't need to be everywhere at once. She understands that serving deeply in the moment she's in creates ripples far beyond what the world can see. Her life is not divided between the personal and the powerful. It is both. Her example says more than ambition ever could. Where others rush toward recognition, she pauses to give care. Where others chase everything, she commits fully to the one thing that matters now. She knows that real glory isn't loud. It lives in the quiet roles she fulfills with love and presence. Lesson 3. Serve beyond yourself. If you want your life to feel full and purposeful, shift your focus outward. Ask not only what you want from life but what life might need from you. Your talents, your compassion, your quiet strength, they are not meant to be hoarded. They are tools to lift others. When you take time to understand the needs of your family, your community, even strangers crossing your path, you begin to live with greater depth. Stoicism reminds you that serving others is not weakness. It is a form of mastery. The strength to give when the world expects you to take. The humility to listen when your ego wants to speak. But you cannot give from an empty cup. So you must take care of your own energy, your own growth, your own peace. And then, from that place of fullness, you extend your hand. Sometimes with words. Sometimes with silence. But always with presence. The more you give meaningfully, the more you receive a sense of rootedness, clarity, and joy. In a world obsessed with self-gain, your quiet service becomes a rebellion, a return to what matters. Give with love, with wisdom, and with no expectation. That is where your real power begins. Lesson 5. Appreciate simple pleasures. In a world constantly urging you to want more, buy more, and chase more, it takes real strength to pause and appreciate what you already have. The Stoic woman is not defined by the luxury around her, but by the richness within her. True joy does not come from status or extravagance. It comes from the simplest things, noticed with open eyes and a calm heart. A warm cup of tea in the quiet morning. Laughter shared with a friend. The rhythm of rain tapping against your window. These are not small things. These are the threads that quietly stitch together a meaningful life. If you keep chasing what glitters, you miss what already glows. Step back from the rush. Notice the beauty hiding in the ordinary. Let yourself smile at a clear sky or a well-cooked meal. These moments cost nothing but offer everything. They anchor you to the present and remind you that life does not need to be dramatic to be fulfilling. Gratitude turns what you have into enough, and more often than not, enough is all you really need. When you learn to love the simple, you unlock a peace that luxury can never buy. The Stoic path is not about rejecting comfort, but about seeing clearly where true comfort lies. Not in excess, but in presence. Not in noise, but in stillness. Not in having more, but in needing less. Lesson 6. Reflect on yourself. The Stoic woman does not walk blindly through life. She checks in with herself often, not to judge but to understand. You pause. You look back on your day. You ask, did I act from wisdom or from impulse? Did he speak with kindness or react with ego? You are not afraid to see your flaws because you do not fear growth. Self-reflection is your quiet teacher. It does not scream or shame. It gently reveals the patterns you repeat, the places where your virtues shine, and where they still need work. You sit with your thoughts at night not to overthink, but to observe without panic. Your mind is your mirror and you use it to refine your soul. This kind of honesty with yourself creates real transformation. You do not hide from mistakes. You learn from them. You do not dwell in guilt. You rise with intention. Stoic reflection is not about self-punishment. It is about choosing to be better, quietly, patiently, every single day. Lesson 6. Reflect on yourself. The Stoic woman does not walk blindly through life. She checks in with herself often, not to judge but to understand. You pause. You look back on your day. You ask, did I act from wisdom or from impulse? Did he speak with kindness or react with ego? You are not afraid to see your flaws because you do not fear growth. Self-reflection is your quiet teacher. It does not scream or shame. It gently reveals the patterns you repeat, the places where your virtues shine, and where they still need work. You sit with your thoughts at night not to overthink, but to observe without panic. Your mind is your mirror and you use it to refine your soul. This kind of honesty with yourself creates real transformation. You do not hide from mistakes. You learn from them. You do not dwell in guilt. You rise with intention. Stoic reflection is not about self-punishment. It is about choosing to be better, quietly, patiently, every single day. Lesson 7. Live presently. You cannot control the past and you cannot predict the future, but you can master the moment that is unfolding before you right now. A Stoic woman understands that her strength lies in her ability to return, over and over again, to the present. You do not waste time replaying old mistakes or rehearsing imagined fears. When the past calls, you let it go with grace. When anxiety about tomorrow creeps in, you bring your attention back to your breath, to your senses, to the task in front of you. This moment is your home. This second is your sanctuary. You realize that living presently is not about being naive or careless, but about channeling all your energy where it can make the most difference right here, right now. The Stoics knew that the only time we truly possess is the present. So you choose to inhabit it fully. You pour your heart into each action, no matter how simple. Washing the dishes becomes a practice in mindfulness. A quiet walk becomes a spiritual retreat. A conversation becomes a moment of connection, not a transaction. Living presently means that you live deeply, not distractedly. You pay attention, not because you have to, but because you respect the value of your time and the people who share it with you. And in doing so, you begin to see life not as a blur, but as a series of sacred moments strung together by presence. Lesson 8. Avoid gossip and pettiness. You rise above the noise that pulls most people down. You do not waste your energy on small talk laced with judgment or whispers meant to wound. A Stoic woman chooses clarity over drama and strength over slander. When you hear others tearing someone down behind their back, you pause, you breathe, and you choose not to contribute. Not because you are weak, but because you know your power is too sacred to be spent on trivial matters. You understand that gossip reveals more about the speaker than the subject. So you stay quiet. You protect your peace. You walk away from conversations that pollute your mind and stain your spirit. And when you are wronged, you do not let resentment take root. You feel the sting, yes, but you do not carry it with you. You address what needs to be addressed, set the boundary if it must be set, and then you let it go. This is not suppression. It is strength. You recognize that life is too brief to be spent rehashing the past or sinking into petty conflicts. Instead of seeking revenge or holding grudges, you turn your focus inward. You grow. You learn. You lead by example. And others feel it. They sense the calm in your silence, the weight in your restraint, the nobility in your refusal to be pulled into gossip's current. You choose to be a woman of depth, not distraction. And in doing so, you become untouchable. Lesson 9. Judge your worth by your character, not societal status. You are not the roles you play, the titles you hold, or the praise you receive. You are not your resume or your reflection. Your worth does not rise with applause or fall with criticism. You are deeper than that. You are your values. You are your courage to speak the truth when it costs you. You are your discipline when no one is watching. You are your ability to show compassion, even when it is undeserved. The world will constantly try to label you, to define you by your job, your looks, your possessions, your followers. But Stoicism teaches you to look beyond the surface. You ask, who am I when everything is stripped away? What remains when the noise fades? That is your worth. When you live from the inside out, guided by virtues like wisdom, justice, and integrity, you stop chasing validation. You no longer need to prove yourself. You already know yourself. And that knowing is unshakable. So you continue your path, even when others do not understand it. You pursue growth over recognition, purpose over popularity. And when life tests you, you stand firm, because you build yourself on foundations that do not crumble. You are not here to impress. You are here to embody. You are not chasing someone else's image of success. You are sculpting your own definition of greatness. Quiet, noble, and deeply rooted in who you truly are. Lesson 10. View luxuries for what they are, things that can be taken away. You enjoy what you have, but you are not owned by it. You savor comfort, but you do not cling to it. The Stoic woman understands that everything external, wealth, status, pleasures, is on loan from fortune, and fortune may reclaim it at any moment. So you hold these things loosely. You sip the wine but do not cry when the bottle is empty. You live in comfort but you train your soul to survive in scarcity. You are prepared for winter even in the heart of spring. Luxuries are not evil, but the moment they become needs you have already begun to lose your freedom. You use them wisely and with purpose, not to impress others or feed the ego, but to nourish your mission and support your virtues. When life gives you more, you remain grateful and humble. When life takes away, you remain steady and composed. This is not cold detachment. It is warm discipline. It is the art of enjoying without needing, possessing without being possessed. You see a beautiful home and say that is good, but even the most beautiful house is just wood and stone. You wear elegant clothes but remind yourself that they cover the same skin you would cover in simplicity. You dine richly but give thanks with the same heart you would if you were eating plain bread. The true Stoic woman shines not because she has more but because she needs less. She radiates a deeper wealth that no thief can steal and no fire can burn. Thank you for staying till the end. If these Stoic lessons spoke to something inside you, let them guide your next step. Apply them. Live them. Let your actions reflect the quiet strength and wisdom of a Stoic woman. And if you found value in this message, support the journey by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Turn on the bell so you never miss another piece of wisdom that could shape your path. Stay strong, stay centered, and walk your truth. Stay Stoic and build your Stoic legacy.